Welcome back to the True Geordie YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're new. Today we are talking Conor McGregor being found guilty after being accused of sexual assault by Nikita Khan in a court in Ireland. Now, for those that don't know, this was in a civil court, not a criminal court. In a criminal court, if there is reasonable doubt, you will be found not guilty. Whereas in a civil court, the way they decide whether you're guilty or not is basically what is the most likely outcome. Who is more believable? What scenario do I believe more? I mean, it's really...
And that makes sense. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I sometimes think I wish that our justice system was kind of built around that.
Quite simple. And in a criminal court, if you're found guilty, you go to jail. In a civil court, if they think you did it, you will pay the damages to the injured party, which is what's happened here. Conor McGregor is not going to jail. However, he will have to pay damages to Nikita Khan around £250,000. And look, this was a complicated case, right? I did a video on this going through all the details, and at the end of it, I was kind of thinking they might find him not guilty because of some of the things that she was saying that you were like, does that add up? Like, it was a really muddy, murky case to go through. This.
So apparently, Conor McGregor was out partying. And apparently a woman is accusing him of doing some really foul things. I mean, you can read about it. Conor McGregor really foul things. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I like the charismatic Conor McGregor. I really did. But in terms of like his character and like, really, you could just tell that the fame kind of took over him a little bit. You know what I mean?
This woman was out partying of an evening on a Christmas party. He was out at a DJ set, and she's sending him pictures of herself, in her dress, clearly trying to get his attention, while she's got a fella at home with a kid at home. She agreed at 6 a.m. to go with him to a hotel room while doing cocaine with him in the back of the car. Like, you've got a kid at home and your fella's waiting for you, and yet you're going with Conor McGregor to a hotel room, and it just...
See, and that's kind of the thing that when it comes to like these kind of cases like this, right? Like we could talk about, I don't know, we could talk about their intent all day, but their intent kind of takes a back seat a lot of times, not to make, light of it or not even try to, try to keep up with or take up for Bill Cosby. But that was the case in a lot of the cases. If you listen to the stories about Bill Cosby, it was, oh, we went to his room at 2 o'clock in the morning and this, that, and the third happened. Well, why was you at his room at 2:30 in the morning for? I mean, are you really there for like a prayer and a cup of coffee? Or are you there for some fun time? Who knows? It's really up for interpretation. Like, what do you think you would be up there for at 2:30 in the morning? But at the same time, sometimes intent really does take a back seat.
Just was a story that had some inconsistencies to it, in my opinion. There was the CCTV footage of her in the elevator with Conor McGregor kissing up his arm, according to the reports I heard, and then kissing all over his mate as well and trying to get it on with him.
And then when you have that being said, now it's hard for you to go, oh yeah, I was taken advantage of. Yeah, but you was in the elevator kissing his arm. 9 times out of 10, if you look on a security camera, you see 2 people, a man and a woman, going towards an elevator, and you see the woman kissing up on the man's arm, kissing up on his shoulder. What do you think they're going up there to do? I don't think they're going up there to play bingo. You know what I mean? So.
And he was showing no interest in her. Like, again, that's not the behavior of someone who doesn't really want to, do anything. And actually, while the attack was supposed to be taking place, there was another couple in the other bedroom with the door open, like a few feet away, who were also having sex, who both said that she was absolutely fine and that nothing happened to her, and that after the, alleged event, she was behaving fine. There was no sign of anything. One of those...
Okay, so it wasn't just Conor McGregor in a person. It was Conor McGregor the person, Conor McGregor's friend, and then another woman. So it was the 4 of them in this enclosed space. One room, they're conjoined, and then you have another room. There's the other couple that was doing their thing is saying that, well, they didn't hear anything crazy going on. They didn't hear her like screaming out like in pain or anything like that. Like they just said it was just regular, and she got up and everything was all fine. Okay.
Those people was a work colleague of hers who was a woman, like a woman who was sided against her as well. Like, just normally, like, you'd expect the opposite of that, And then the guy who was having sex with her in the other room claimed he had sex with Nikita after Conor McGregor did, and she completely denied that. Yet on CCTV, there's footage that links that up where she's all over him. And how often?
See what I mean? Again, it just really feels like in cases like this, intent doesn't matter. Intent doesn't. Why she wanted to go into that room that late at night, or it wasn't that late at night, but why did that woman who has a child and a boyfriend at home goes to a hotel room, kissing up on arms, kissing up on legs? Why did she do that? To the court in society, I realize that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is, what's more believable that was to happen?
Often, you know, do you get in cases like this where someone's claiming sexual assault and another guy comes forward and goes, well, I had sex with her as well. Like, just weird. Just such a strange case. And then despite her saying she has no memory of that taking place and basically saying it didn't even happen, she also sued him and said that he also sexually assaulted her, even though she said she didn't think it happened. It's so confusing. And with all of that mess, it was just like, God, I don't know if they can actually say he did this. And she was saying, look, I was totally out of it. Like, they should have looked after me. But then they've got proof that she was texting her boyfriend, like full-length paragraphs, lying to him, saying that she was having a great time and she was fine. And then when they'd show the CCTV, they'd be like, well, why are you all over them? And she's like, well, I don't remember. But I remember all the other bits where it goes in my favor. This woman's...
See what I mean? Like, it's just weird, man. It's just weird. It's just very weird. Very, very weird.
Testimony, I was thinking, I don't know if they're going to believe that. And when she got home to her partner after that night, he recorded the whole conversation with her, which to me shows a history of him not believing her. And apparently, I think he left her like 6 months later, which if someone's been through something like that and you fully believe them, you're going to want to support them through it. And the fact is he didn't. I mean, that doesn't really prove anything. I just think the whole scenario didn't look good. And she...
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so if something traumatic was to happen to your mate, and like, of course, it's not uncharacteristic, or it's not characteristically the same, right? Like, you're not going to just leave them. You're going to support them. You're going to be like, oh my God, the woman that I love was assaulted, was hurt, was taken advantage of. You're going to be mad at that. You're going to be upset. You're going to be frustrated with that. He seemed to have the opposite effect. He seemed to go, oh, okay, this is the last straw. Bye-bye. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird.
He denied giving consent despite some of that evidence to say that possibly she did. McGregor denied the injuries to her, saying he didn't do them, despite her being the one with the injury, saying it was you. Maybe it's possible they were both lying here to some degree. I don't know. You know, sometimes people in these scenarios go, the truth is somewhere in the middle. Maybe at the start she did give consent, but at some point it changed and it got worse and it got a lot rougher than she was ever.
That's always the case, though, right? One person tells the truth. There's one side of the truth, there's the other side of the truth, and then there's the lie. That's true. Very, very true.
Participating, and maybe Connor did do those things. The issue for me with looking at this case is I wasn't in the courtroom. I can't hear the tone of voice from Connor, the tone of voice from Nikita. Who was more believable? I think that's massive. The fact that those injuries, the photographs of those injuries, I have not seen them. And I can only imagine for the kind of inconsistencies within Nikita's story to be there, and then to still find in favor of her, those photographs must be shocking. They must be overwhelming. And that's the context.
Right.
That when you're looking at the case in a soulless sort of way, just reading it, you don't get that impact that the jury would have had. And the medical staff...
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. If you look this up and you look at the details, or you listen to the details, or you read the details, you could just... The picture that you get doesn't say that this was a violent encounter, right? Like, he ain't on some Diddy shit where he's dragging the old girl to the room. It didn't seem like it was one of those encounters, but apparently she was hurt. She was bruised in some way. And those pictures, like he just said, had to have been shocking. Those pictures had to have been bad. Those pictures had to have told a better story of, okay, something went on in this room on this day, but it's just the stories coming out and the inconsistencies. It makes it hard to visualize what could have happened. But again, we wasn't in the courtroom. We didn't see those pictures. We don't know what it looked like, what she was actually bruised looked like. We don't know. That's the tough thing.
Also really seemed to help her case as well by saying, like, I think one nurse said, like, it was one of the worst cases of bruising she'd ever seen in her life. The doctors were verifying a lot of what she had said, so that must have been powerful on her part as well. But I have to admit, I was surprised given the amount of inconsistencies in her story. But when you look at the jury, I mean, they had a hard job here. It was a complex case, and there was 8 women and only 4 men. And look, you've got to imagine Conor McGregor's reputation and all of his years of being an absolute prick didn't do him any favors in this scenario.
So yeah, man. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna show on that. That's all I'm gonna show on that. I just I just thought that was mighty interesting. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was mighty interesting. Conor McGregor is one of my favorite UFC stars. The liquor. I can't even talk today. What the hell's going on?
Oh shit!
I can't talk. The liquor brand, Proper 12 whiskey, is one of my favorite whiskey brands. Right, so I support this guy. You know, I've paid for some of his pay-per-views. But, this dude got a lifestyle issue that he got to fix, man. And again, the money, the fame, I get it. You was a poor kid in Dublin, Ireland, and now you've made it to the big time, essentially. And that money is just, I guess, fucking up your head, I suppose. But Jesus Christ, son. Like, you got to get it together, man. You got a fiance, you got 2 children. Like, get your shit together, man. Well, I could tell I'm never gonna see you in the ring again, and that's fine. To be quite honest with you, a part of me don't want to see you in the ring again. I don't want to see you get your ass beat like you did against Dustin Poirier, or against Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see you in the ring no more. But I don't want to see you like go to jail for some other shit. Well, I mean, clearly he's not going to jail because it was a civil suit. So if it was a criminal suit, he probably would have went to jail. But it was just a civil suit, right? Because the inconsistencies, the inconsistencies were probably so crazy, the police was just like, you know what, we are not going to even try this case. But it's a civil suit. He's found guilty. It is what it is. Stop doing dumb shit. I don't know.